It's Week 16 of the National Football League, and we'll see Tony Pollard. He's the NFL's ultimate red zone back and your leader in rushing touchdowns. We're just moments away from the action, and it comes your way next.
Welcome in, everyone, to this presentation of the National Football League on EA Sports. Two teams in this one going in the right direction. Thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson. Greg, both these squads come in off winning streaks. Something's going to have to give, but you love having that momentum coming into a game like this.
And absolutely right, Mike. And on top of it, if you're the home team today playing in front of your home crowd, not only are you coming off this win streak and bringing this momentum into another home game, but you get the energy, you get the excitement of your crowd who's also riding this wave of winning football. But on the other sideline, you've got a hungry, hot road team that's looking in saying, all right, if you don't take us serious today, we're going to try to extend our winning streak of our own and get back onto this plane and go home with another win under our belt.
Anthony Gould now to return. They get across the 20, mark him at the 22-yard line. Indianapolis led out by their quarterback, Anthony Richardson, the number 4 overall pick in 2023. Had some highlight moments, but injured most of the year. Greg now in his second year in the NFL out of Florida.
There wasn't really anything fancy about their performance in last week's win, Mike. I mean, he had the one interception. He would clearly like to have that one back. But for the most part, thought he did a nice job keeping the ball out of harm's way. However, it's clear after reviewing the film, he left a lot of opportunities out there. I think there was a lot of meat left on that bone. The 2 touchdown passes, those were great. If he's going to continue to lead his team to more wins in the future, he has to do a better job identifying those mismatches, finding those opportunities, and when they present themselves, he's got to take it.
Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
The offense goes from feeling really good about the previous play with a real nice pickup to then on the ensuing play ending up going the complete opposite direction. Really nice job here by the defense, immediately getting back on track. And what do the coaches say? Just play the next play, and that's exactly what they did.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. On the ground for the first time, here comes Jonathan Taylor. He'll push forward for about a yard. Harold Landry there on the tackle. 3rd and long. Out of a shotgun, Richardson. He'll try and carry that ball loosely, and it is out. The defense has it. The quarterback was on the move, starting to gain some yards, but then he lost the ball. And the fumble's recovered by the defense.
And early on, Mike, it was actually a really good job by the quarterback, extending that play, getting some positive yards with his legs, but he decided not to slide and give himself up. He takes that hit, loses the ball, and now the defense takes over.
So the visitors ready to go on offense here for the first time. They're led by their quarterback, the 2nd-round pick out of Kentucky, Will Levis.
It's not often that you can win by multiple scores in the NFL, so you got to imagine they're coming into this week's game with a lot of confidence. They were able to put together a pretty well-rounded performance in all 3 phases last week. So again, can they build off that? Can they continue to grow as an entire team? Because offense, defense, and solid contribution from their special teams, they showed last week, and going forward, this is going to be a hard team to beat.
Second and 7. They'll run the toss. Here's Pollard. Pollard, first down and more. The speed on display. He's in. Tony Pollard for the score. Big play out of the running game as the back accelerates all the way to the house for the rushing touchdown.
And Mike, when we talk about burst, that's what we're talking about, and they told us all week, be ready for this guy. He's got something special to him, and that long touchdown there is exactly what they're talking about.
Folks, extra point is good. And the visitors will take a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, out is Holt to kick this one away. Here's Gould on the return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. The Colts offense ready to get going with their second possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a first down. On first down, they'll start with Taylor. Fighting off tackles, pushing his way forward. Good gain of about 4. You get a look there at his numbers on the ground from a week ago. Here's a 2nd and 6. From the gun, Richardson. The pressure gets there, and he goes down. A sack that should be the final play of this first quarter. So they'll talk over what to do on this third down play as we have hit the end of the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. We'll come back to Indianapolis in a moment. From the gun on third down, Richardson. He'll try to run for it.
And that's a great job defensively here on third down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the first down.
So on fourth down, the Colts send out Rigoberto Sanchez to punt. Take it in, back at his own 12. And this will not turn out to be a good return. Forced backwards, and they get it out of bounds. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. The drive starts. It's a carry by Pollard. Ooh! And he's shedding tacklers left and right, winding his way for a gain of 8. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. We'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. They'll run once more, and it's Pollard again. And they'll get him down, but not before he takes this across the 30-yard line.
If you have a shot to bring him down early, you just can't miss, Mike. Not against a runner like this. If he slips that first tackle, you can see how much more he can add to a run.
1st and 10, and they give it to Pollard. Room to run again. Inside the 35. 20. 15, and he's going to take this all the way home. Tony Pollard has a touchdown. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. And that rushing touchdown, number 28 on the year, a remarkable number. He draws level with the Hall of Famer, LaDainian Tomlinson, for the most rushing TDs in an NFL season. Folk now for the extra point. He knocks it through. And the visitors move out on top, 14-0. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. Here's Gould on the return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. The Colts offense going to take over just before the half. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0. The score as the offense tries to regroup and get going with 1st and 10. Richardson. He's hit after the catch, and the ball comes free. And this is taken in by the defense.
Mike, we hear that term run after catch so often, and sometimes people miss that there's kind of the middle phase. There's the catch, but before it turns into a run, you have to secure the ball as a ball carrier, right? It needs to be put away, properly held, points of pressure, front tip up against your body. All of that is kind of taken for granted. Catching it is just step one. You've got to secure the ball before you become a runner.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Now a handoff to Pollard. Down the sideline, inside the 25. And it's a big run down to the 10-yard line. Now this offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 13 seconds to play in this opening half. And he's into the end zone yet again. Tony Pollard for the touchdown. What a half he is putting together. That's his 3rd touchdown already. So his big first half continues. 3 rushing touchdowns already. Maybe have to start looking at the record book, see if he can do it. The record in a game is 6. Now, Folk on for the extra point. It's up and through. And the visitors will stake themselves to a 21-0 lead. Just 8 seconds now until halftime, and the kick's away. Here's Gould on the return. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. And they'll elect not to run another play. Instead, just take a knee and take this on into the locker room. So we've hit halftime in a very fast-moving first half. As we'll send you down to Orlando now, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Michael, we'll get back to you and Greg in just a little bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where you see the final score there. C.J. Stroud leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head east to check on the Bills at home in Buffalo. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. Drew Lock, 2 touchdown passes thus far. It was a strong first half for running back Tony Pollard. He's up over 100 yards rushing for the game already, and he scored 3 times as well, as they went to him early and often, and with good reason. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Both these teams running through their final adjustments. It's time for the second half. And for the call, let's get it back out to Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen.
Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. And a big mistake there. He's out of bounds, back inside his own 5-yard line. The visitors' offense and running back Tony Pollard going to take over once again. He's had a nose to the end zone all season long, and now here in the month of December, he is the NFL's leader this season for rushing touchdowns. They'll give it to Pollard to start this drive. Still fighting. What a run. Shedding tacklers. Picks up 9 on the play.
And this is just more of the same, picking up exactly where he left off in the first half. And these numbers, Mike, as you see them, they just pop out at you. I mean, he has been the driving force of this offense from the very start.
Accelerating toward midfield. A big run. They finally get to him and bring him down.
Well, you talk about being able to flip the field. You won't find many longer runs than this, Mike, that don't end up resulting in a touchdown. He nearly took this all the way. That was incredible.
So now, after the fireworks, a chance to cash in. They have it 1st and goal. They'll run here. It's Pollard. And he will score again. Tony Pollard. Touchdown. Make it 4 touchdowns for him on the afternoon. Greg, nothing changed at halftime. They come right out to start this third quarter and pick up where they left off.
Well, I think this defensive coordinator is going to think back to his halftime speech, Mike, because whatever adjustments he thought they made, it obviously didn't resonate. What we saw happen in the first half, they picked right back up here to start the third quarter, and at this point, the offense has hit its stride, and they continue to pull away.
Folks, extra point is good. And the visitors are able to extend the advantage to 28-0. After the touchdown, out is Folk to kick this one away. Oh, what an unforced error at an untimely moment. Just tied the game, but then the kickoff out of bounds, and the ball comes out to the 40-yard line. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground. It's Taylor. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Now Richardson. The throw on the run is complete. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
Colts, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Richardson will give it to Taylor. Now a loose football. And the defense has it.
And as you can see with that fumble, Mike, it really just goes back to the fundamentals of how they're taught to carry the ball. And they talk about the points of pressure. And the biggest thing really, Mike, is you want the front tip of the ball, the part where your fingers cover, to always be higher than the back tip of the ball. So often you see that front tip go down, and it makes it so much easier for that defender to kind of rake it out. So you want pressure against the outside of the ball, both tips, the inside of the ball, and then keep that front point up.
They'll run here with Pollard. Room up the sideline at the 45. Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard. And he's going to go all the way. An electrifying run. 70 yards. It's a touchdown. He is having a performance to remember. That is 5 touchdowns for him in this one game. Folk now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the visitors stretch out this lead even more. It is now 35-0. After the touchdown, out is Folk to kick this one away. Here's Gould on the return. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Richardson to throw here on 1st and 10. Oh, he coughs up the football. The defense has got it. And there it is. The defense comes up with the big play, forcing the fumble as they get their offense right back on the field. Coming up, Greg, with a big turnover.
Taking the ball away, Mike, has really become an art form in the NFL. Some teams are good at it, some teams not so much. But in this case, great job by the defense taking that one away.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And here we are in December, so it's speculation season. Who might be the MVP? You'd have to say he's most likely the favorite as we enter the final weeks of the season. On the handoff, Pollard. Wow! And he shows off a little footwork, winding his way for a run of 8.
And all he can do at this point, Mike, is just really marvel at how well he's been able to run the ball. And throughout the course of the game, they've certainly not been shy in giving it to him. And I think he's held up his side of the bargain.
Again, it's Pollard. And they cannot contain him at all. He's into the end zone yet again. Tony Pollard for the score. With that, he joins Gale Sayers and Alvin Kamara, players in the Super Bowl era with 6 touchdowns in a single game. Now, Folk on for the extra point. His kick is good. And the visitors keep widening that lead. It is now 42-0. After the touchdown, out is Folk to kick this one away. Here's Gould on the return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Colts offense and Anthony Richardson getting ready for their next drive. And as we take you back through the highlights, there aren't many of them from a quarterbacking perspective. He's been unable to sustain a lot in any of these drives and does not have a touchdown pass to this point. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Richardson. Looking middle, and he's got downs. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
At the 32-yard line.
Throwing. Richardson. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
pass is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just...
The pass rush gets home, and he goes down. Now this defense will use the first of their timeouts. The stoppage comes with just over a minute to play in this one. That's taken at about the 14. And this will not turn out to be a good return. Forced backwards, and they get him out of bounds. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you can run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, the stats. It has all been on display throughout. Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard. Inside the 10. And this is going to be a touchdown. They are going to extend the lead here in the final minute of play. So it's another touchdown run, and this one puts his name in the NFL record book. He has set the new standard, most rushing touchdowns in a single game. And hold on to that football, or maybe just run it to Canton. That's Hall of Fame stuff. 7th rushing touchdown in the game. That's never happened in the history of the league. Folk now for the extra point. He's got it. And the visitors continue to bring the hammer down. It is now 49-0. So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. Here's Gould on the return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Here's the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over once more. Greg, kind of a head-scratcher in this one. A fumble or two here or there. That's going to happen. But they've continually put the ball on the ground in this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've ever seen anything quite like it, and kind of seems like when it rains, it pours. It gets a little mental for the ball carriers. They're kind of contagious in a sense, Mike. But you know who also gets really wrapped up in it is the defense. They say, hey, I've seen that ball pop out time and time again. You get those guys continuing to believe it's going to come out and attack the ball, and you have days like this today.
Now a second timeout called by the defense. And they stop it with 22 ticks left on the clock here in the fourth. Open man is the rookie, Adonai Mitchell. Now this defense will use a third and final timeout. And it comes with 15 seconds to play in the game. Richardson to throw it here on first down. Toward the middle of the field that time, but incomplete.
Can't exactly put my finger on it, but it just seems like this entire game, like this passing game and this quarterback specifically, they've just been off. And whether it's missing these big shots downfield like he did there.
And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. Here we go. One final play. The ball comes out, and this will go out of bounds, so no recovery, and that is how this game will end. So it's a win for our visitors. Their perfect season continues here into the month of December as they continue to be the #1 team in all of football. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone.